Everyone. You folks have up to 3 minutes to respond to this. Don't feel like you need to take all 3 minutes, but you have up to 3. You guys, your switches are actually on you're on. It's just on as long as you got a green light, you're good. Okay. So what I'd like to do is to start off by asking you this, and if you can incorporate this into your introductory comments, that would be great. Most of you have listed either on your website or on your yard posters up to 3 different things that you are committed to in terms of being on the council. So I would like, as part of your introductory, if you could maybe tell us why you selected the ones you did. What was it about those 3 that really called to you, and what the residents of PVE could expect from you in those areas if you are elected? So with that, David, I'll turn it over to you.
Thank you. Good evening. My wife Lynn and I have been residents in Palos Verde Estates since we were transferred here 23 years ago. I am now retired and operate my own business, Lanada Bay Associates, and have the time to devote to the council. I'm a member of the Palos Verde Estates Financial Advisory Committee that was established a year ago and appointed based upon my accounting and 50-year financial career. Following graduate school, my professional background has included senior financial positions in manufacturing, where I led global financial planning and analysis. I was chief financial officer for U.S. operations. I was also the chief accounting officer for the publicly traded company Norwest, commonly known as Wells Fargo today. And I also ran a mortgage banking unit for First Bank System, which is now U.S. Bank, prior to joining PricewaterhouseCoopers. I retired from PricewaterhouseCoopers almost 11 years ago, where I had led a financial analysis and dispute resolution practice that was focused on corporations and major and governmental entities. I am familiar with how cities do their municipal accounting and have provided assistance to Los Angeles, the City of Los Angeles, the County of Los Angeles, County of Orange, San Luis Obispo, the Los Angeles Coliseum Commission, et cetera, et cetera. I am frequently called upon to provide expert testimony on a wide range of financial issues in federal, state, and municipal courts. I am a CPA, CMA, CFE. Why am I running? My signs have all indicated safety, security, and fiscal integrity. I have examined our city's financial statements, and as a member of the FAC, coupled with my background, I believe I know and understand our city's financials well, if not better than any other candidate. Therefore, I am running as an independent and will team with whatever complement the voters determine. I'm motivated to run for the council because I find that our city's financial condition is deteriorating, and the city has no long-range plan for improvement. I am working with the FAC to develop a 5 to 10 year financial projection to provide a path to fiscal stability. I want to preserve the safety and security that we enjoy in PVE, and I work to pass the recent Measure E and provided critical funding for the city and the police department. The large majority, 2/3 of our voters, said they wanted to retain our local PVE police department. So as a city council member, I would work to do that in the most efficient and cost-effective manner. My background not only includes leadership roles in business, but also in the community. I'm one of the founding members and CFO of the Los Angeles Parks Foundation, where I have been involved with parks and management ranging from the Griffith Park to the neighborhood pocket parks.
David, excuse me, did we hear that melodious sound? Okay. Yeah. Is 3 minutes up? Okay. Why don't you finish your last sentence then, and I'm going to have to move on.
I'm sorry?
Finish your last sentence, and then we're going to have to move on.
Okay, I want to...
It can be a long sentence.
I will bring leadership, long-range financial planning, and economic stability to our city. I will listen and respond to the residents and pursue a goal not to just maintain, but enhance the character of our city.
Thank you very much. All right, next in line, Kevin.
I'm Kevin McCarthy. My wife and I have been residents here since 1997. Last week I retired after 39 years with the Los Angeles Police Department. In my last assignment, I was in charge of Detective Bureau, and I had over 900 people assigned to me. If you watch TV, I had all those sexy assignments under me. I had robbery, homicide, I had the labs, I had the human trafficking, I had all that good stuff. In addition to that, I represented the chief of police at an LA Impact Executive Board, which is all the LA chiefs of police that sit on a board, and I sat on their executive board. I represented the chief of police at a HIDTA Executive Board, which is a high-intensity drug trafficking area, which encompasses three regions. Basically, the region is three counties: Orange County, San Bernardino, Riverside County. And one of my other things was I oversaw, I was part of CompStat. CompStat is a command accountability process in the Los Angeles Police Department where we bring in people and we test them on, or we inspect their commands. We hold them accountable for what their goals are, for what their missions are, for their budget. We look at their risk management. We look at their numbers. And the bottom line is we ask the tough questions. I did that for 8 years for the Los Angeles Police Department. I'm not afraid to ask the tough questions. And the bottom line, it is what it is. I usually want the bad news first. And finally, I sit on a board. It's called the Los Angeles Police Relief Association. We administer health benefits for 16,000 sworn and retired members. I've been the president for the last 10 years, or going on 10 years, and I've been on the board for 20. So you ask, my 3 points here are public safety, accountability, and transparency. And so the way that works is public safety is pretty obvious. You know, I've been in public safety for 39 years, but public safety is not just about crime. It's about fire prevention. It's about emergency preparedness. It's about traffic. So there's a whole bunch of things encompassed in that. Accountability, I'd like to bring part of like a CompStat process to the city and hold city staff accountable. You know, we need to ask the tough questions. And finally, transparency. Transparency in that not just what happens at a board meeting, but what the verbal communication and the written communication. I read the budget, and it's 120 pages. I had a little tough time with it. I'll be honest, I didn't read the whole thing. I'd like to see something where everybody, a regular guy like me, can read that and not have to look for an attorney or accountant or somebody to help me interpret that. Not only is the not only the written communication, but also the verbal communication. You know, I sit on the traffic safety committee for the city, and we have an engineer at every one of our meetings, and we talk about construction, and he uses all these engineer terms, and if I don't understand it, I know most people don't. I'm here because I love this city, and I want to serve you on the council. Thank you.
Great, thank you very much.
Thanks.
Victoria?
Yes. Hi, I'm Victoria Losey, and in case you didn't know, I am the current city treasurer. So as your current city treasurer, and combined with my 30 years of corporate banking career experience, I believe I have the experience to be an effective city council member. Why am I running? I'm running because I strongly believe we need new leadership. I was not involved with the city at all before I ran for city treasurer 2 years ago. For me, the issues back then were lack of transparency, poor communication to residents, and a lack of long-term vision and planning. From the person who has been sitting at city council meetings for the last 2 years, I have to say I think the issues are still the same. Palos Verdes is a wonderful place to live. I feel so lucky to live here. It's a great community full of smart and accomplished and engaged residents, and we've all worked hard to get here, and we all want to work to preserve what's great about being here. As treasurer, I've been immersed in the city finances for the past 2 years. I've learned a lot in that time. The first thing I learned is that we need to do things differently. We need to think and operate a little bit more like a business that has limited resources. We need to make sure we're running our operations as efficiently as possible. We need to operate with a balanced budget and a long-range plan. I was shocked when I became treasurer to find that there was no long-range plan other than a 1 to 2 year budget. We can't let things like pension obligations and capital investment fester. We have got to tackle these issues. I think there are a lot of negative financial trends that are ahead of us that will not get addressed if we don't have long-range planning. While I feel that the challenges on the horizon are largely financial, which good for me is my area of expertise, there's more to serving on the city council than that. We need to be able to see the big picture. We need to be able to work with residents to address their ideas and their concerns. And we also need to help neighbors work out issues from time to time. One of the things I did last summer was to participate in the city's Citizens Academy. That's a 4-month program. It's open to any resident. And I got to learn a lot about the different city departments and the operations. And I got to engage with a lot of residents as well. So it was a lot of fun. I highly recommend it. But I wanted to participate in this program to make sure that I was not just always looking at the financial picture, but that I was seeing the big picture. I accomplished that goal, and I'm proud to say that I'm a graduate of the Citizens Academy. I think I'm the most well-rounded candidate for City Council. I'm focused on the financial picture and the big picture. I think our residents want their leaders to preserve the character of our beautiful city, to preserve everything that's great about our city, but also to address the financial issues head-on. We need forward-looking, independent thinkers to lead our city. Leaders who will put the needs of the residents first, to make decisions based on what the residents want and not what they individually think is best. We need to deviate from business as usual mentality and improve our current operations and service and plan for the future. I think we need a change in leadership. I think this election is our time to do that. Don't dong me, and thank you. He had his hand up. He was ready.
Thank you. Jennifer.
Thank you. I'm Jennifer King. I'm just finishing my first term on the council. In fact, all the city council members are in their first term, and I am running for re-election. By way of background, I served for 6 years on the Parklands Committee and 6 years on the Planning Commission before joining the city council in 2015. And I'm very proud of what the city council has accomplished. I don't have any phrases or words on my signs, but on my website, I do have some general principles, and I'll just touch on some of those and how the City Council has been able to work on those issues. The first is resident engagement. We conducted the first ever city survey, which has been really helpful in helping the city set priorities. We also started the Citizens Academy, and I'm glad to hear it got such great reviews. It's an annual program designed to educate our residents about city services in an interactive way. And we created 4 new advisory committees. And we worked, and I anticipate we'll continue to work with the Davenport Institute to assist us in meaningfully engaging residents on a range of issues. The second thing I touch on is transparency. We've updated our website to provide the content that residents really want to see. We've implemented 2 programs there, OpenGov and Questus, which are basically file cabinets of financial information as well as minutes, resolutions, ordinances that are available at the touch of your fingertips. And I personally have been available for many of you I see in the room for one-on-one or small group meetings. I've met personally with you by phone, by email, to answer your questions or find those answers that you're looking for. And then I also touch on fiscal conservatism. We are a very fiscally prudent city council. We've balanced our operating budget every year. We've incurred no debt. And despite the failure of Measure D to obtain a 2/3 majority, which meant that the city lost $5 million that it will never get back, we still have maintained over $10 million in reserves. We've done that by making significant cuts in our operating budget and by eliminating, deferring, or extending certain capital projects. We are engaged in long-range planning. We formed the Financial Advisory Committee to help us engage in that, recognizing that increasing pension liability and our rising infrastructure needs will, in the future, cause our expenses to exceed our revenue. So why am I running for a second term? I'm doing it because I love our city. I've lived here for 20 years. I've raised my family here. And while I'm proud of what the City Council has accomplished, I know that there is more work to be done. I'm not interested in scaring you or making you angry about anything. Instead, I want to work with you to engage in a thoughtful process as we work together to preserve what we have while at the same time determine the best way to face the challenges that we see ahead presented by state mandates, rising pension costs, and infrastructure needs. In short, I want to work with you to protect our city. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Michael.
Good evening. My name is Michael Kemps, and I was born in Palos Verdes. I was blessed to be raised here. I've been married to my wife, Gemma, for 23 years, and we've raised our children here. At 17 years old, I launched a thriving technology business, and my companies are law firms, corporate law departments, and government entities just like this one. My business spans 3 cities and we employ 50. It's been profitable for 30 years. I developed our core values years ago, and integrity, accountability, and respect drive my decisions and success. Over the years, I've developed leadership, management, and executive experience. I've hired and fired, held a leadership team accountable, and have collaborated with strong business, technology, and legal minds. I helped start Premier Bank of Palos Verdes, and I have very deep ties in our community. I believe that each of us candidates has a love for our city of Palos Verdes Estates. But I have to admit, I think I have a vastly different approach than our incumbents. I believe strongly in transparency. I absolutely believe in fiscal responsibility. Our citizens assert their power to elect representatives, and those representatives safeguard those liberties. To me, this means that our council is accountable to you, and our city manager and staff are accountable to the council. Let's say that again and slow it down. Our council is accountable to you, and the city manager and staff are accountable to the council. For the last several years, our representatives have followed what they refer to as a strong city manager model. They've ceded control, they've avoided accountability, and degraded our financial situation, with increased spending squandering our reserves. Under the guise of transparency, a finance advisory committee was created. However, these talented people, of whom I've met with several, were handcuffed rather than empowered. I believe this is not a status quo election. That's why you see so many people up here. It's time to make a change. We need new leadership that's willing to answer to our citizens. Our new council must face our challenges head on, being completely open and transparent. Accounting tricks, pension funding neglect, and fund transfers just won't balance our budget. These tactics simply deplete our savings and they harm our future. Being honest about our financial condition will instill trust as we openly collaborate together towards solutions. Just like I do running my own business, I will engage and listen to our talented residents and to your ideas. By addressing the issues, by being truthful and respectful, I intend to restore trust, ensure solvency, and improve productive discourse in our city. I look forward to collaborating with you, our residents, and appreciate your vote and consideration. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Betty Lynn.
Thank you. My name is Betty Lynn Peterson. I've lived here since 1990. I was born in Taiwan, so I speak 2 languages. I'm your current mayor, and I'm running to keep my seat on the city council. I've been warned to not attend tonight because what benefit could I gain by attending a forum the group whose prominent members are already endorsing 3 out of the 6 candidates. I've been warned that maybe we should not settle the Parklands litigation prior to the election because some of the extremists out there will make up their narratives and use that as an attack. I've also been warned that maybe I should stop my once-a-month walk and talk with the mayor or PVE Eats with the mayor. Both I created to promote conversations, community, and as for PVE Eats, really promote our local restaurants. But the fact is, even though I am a candidate, I'm first and foremost the mayor. And as such, I want to work with the residents, promote our businesses, and make sure that we're financially sustainable. I recognize that we have financial problems. And I recognize that just by creating the FAC and really picking the top 5 people out of the 33 that came to interview with us may not be enough. But recognizing our problem and finding the baseline is one of the first things we need to do. Right now, our conversations are so far away from each other, and why is that? Is it because we have completely different accounting systems that we can't come to somewhere in the middle? Is it because we're adding depreciation onto the expenses and making the charts seem astronomical? I'm not sure. But by not having these conversations, it just depletes the trust between residents, and that's not what I'm here to do. My goal is to make sure that our city is financially solvent, creating a baseline. We also need to make long-term planning, creative revenue ideas, restarting foundations such as PVE Beautiful for our residents to donate to, and for us to be able to spend the money without paying some taxes to the state and not getting enough back. I'm here to unify. I'm here to create conversations and encourage dialogue. And for me, it's leading by example, and that's why we're here today, to talk to our residents. I'm here to serve my constituent, and with that, I need to hear what people are most concerned about. And I understand that our finances is really at the foremost of our conversations right now. But people are talking to me about other things such as traffic, safety, fire mitigations. What do we need to do with those? I'm here because those conversations are encouraging me to run. The first 4 years was not enough. The next 4 years is when we start really ramping up and get things moving. So I know we have 10 seconds, so I won't let you ding me, but I'm here to serve the constituents and to protect our residents. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that from all of you.